the next sequence in the impeachment proceedings. It was back on December 18th that the House originally voted to impeach President Trump for abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. Overnight, President Trump reacted during an appearance on Fox News.
I think it's ridiculous. She should have sent him a long time ago. It belittles the process. Nancy Pelosi will go down as probably the least successful Speaker of the House in the history of our nation.
Now, when asked for his reaction to the highly anticipated news of the articles making their way to the upper chamber, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell simply told reporters it's about time. Earlier in the week, NBC News confirmed a report that President Trump met privately with McConnell at the White House, where McConnell walked President Trump through the potential format of the impeachment trial, while also conveying the current mood among Senate Republicans. Joining us now are Anita Kumar, White House correspondent with Politico, and David Korn, MSNBC political analyst and the Washington bureau chief for Mother Jones. Good to see you both this morning.
Good morning.
So, Anita, sources familiar told me that President Trump met with McConnell on Wednesday, and that McConnell walked him through, this is the format I've envisioned for this Senate trial. And that at one point, President Trump wanted Republican lawmakers to be part of his defense team. Because in his view, is if you have Adam Schiff and Jerry Nadler prosecuting the case for Democrats, I want people like Jim Jordan defending me on the Senate floor. He had to be talked out of that, I'm told. But generally, what is the sense that you're hearing from your sources about how the president is feeling about all of this?
Well, when the vote happened, he was just very angry, but he's had a couple weeks to deal with it. He went to Mar-a-Lago in South Florida, had his vacation with his family, and he's come back and he's just really frustrated that it hasn't happened yet, that it hasn't been scheduled. He wants it to quickly go away. You're totally right on what you're hearing. I'm hearing the same thing, that he wanted witnesses that would be beneficial to him, and he also wanted House members to be part of his legal team, because though he trusts his legal team, which is, the White House counsel's office, they don't have TV experience.
Right.
They're not out there talking on television, and he's very worried about that. He wants that PR out there. So Mitch McConnell has sort of talked him down from both of those things. At this point, I think both men just want it to be quickly over with so they can go on to other things.
Yeah, a fast and forgettable trial, right? David, what did Democrats think they achieved with this 2-week, I guess it was really a 3-week delay, in not immediately sending over the articles of impeachment?
Well, I think they cast a spotlight on what Mitch McConnell is doing. He's basically going to pull a Merrick Garland on this. He's not there for an honest, fair trial. As he said himself, he's basically in lockstep with the defense that is Donald Trump. And so I think for 3 weeks, there was also recess, but they showed that McConnell is not, is resisting witnesses, or at least resisting a commitment to have witnesses, and is not really concerned about showing the public both sides, or even, one side of this matter. And it may well be at the end of the day that, he has this, as you said, a fast and forgettable trial, and that they don't have witnesses. They try to do this very fast. They have a vote to dismiss. Maybe it passes on a 51-49 vote with maybe 1 or 2 Republicans saying no to this. We still don't know. The other day, Susan Collins said that she was meeting with a bunch of Republicans who want witnesses. But you said it was a fairly small group.
Yeah, so small, in fact, that we don't even know who the other Republicans are. Our team has been trying to figure out who they are, and we don't know.
Yeah, it may just be her. Anyway, I do think the Democrats demonstrated that they have some strategic thinking here, because as soon as they hand it off to Mitch McConnell, they do lose control of the narrative unless they decide to continue the investigation by subpoenaing Bolton and others since more information has come out.
Yeah. And what's the latest with that? Because President Trump has gone back and forth. He says, I want the whistleblower to testify. I want the Bidens to testify. At one point, he said he wanted John Bolton and Mick Mulvaney to testify. But now he's saying he doesn't want John Bolton to testify.
Yeah. I mean, I think that he has been hearing from Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and other Senate Republicans like Lindsey Graham, who say as soon as you get some people to testify, it opens the whole thing. Yeah. Everybody's going to have to testify. So you saw him saying yesterday on the interview we just played that he's pulling back from that. Oh, I might have to invoke executive privilege. It does sound like he does not want anyone to testify. So I don't know. I still think there's a possibility. Lisa Murkowski said she might be open to it. Mitt Romney said he might be open to it. Obviously, they need at least 4 people to say that they would want witnesses, and I just don't think we're going to know.
And that is if it actually comes to an honest vote.
Right.
Mitch McConnell is famous for playing the rules to his advantage and even going beyond norms, as he did do in the Merrick Garland case. So I don't put anything beyond him at this point in terms of trying to manage this impeachment trial totally to Trump's advantage, where they may not, where the Republicans who even want something may not have the opportunity to get it.
What do you think? Do you think those Republicans, those moderate or vulnerable Senate Republicans, would pay a price if this trial begins and ends within 2 weeks and never a witness crosses the threshold of the Senate floor?
I think, yeah, Cory Gardner in Colorado and Susan Collins in Maine. I mean, they're basically on, on the edge now in terms of being their re-electability. Mm-hmm. And so this would give people just another reason. But I think what it would do, more importantly, is just provide more motivation to the opposition forces in those states to fight against them even harder.
Yeah.
I agree, except that it's January. And by November, we could be talking about something completely different. Look at this week with Iran.
That's 8,000 news cycles
right,
from now.
Right. And so impeachment might be far away by then. I mean, I do think that the opposition, the Democrats, will bring that up in their races. It's just the question of whether voters are really fixated on that.
I mean, that's a good point.
Point.
There will be 8,000 things that happen between now and then. And some of those might be related to impeachment. More information could come out, and it could make the Republicans and Trump and Mitch McConnell look really bad for having covered up stuff. So that's where I think the vulnerability is with these folks, that this story is not over. We still don't know a lot about Rudy Gate and all the information that's come out recently.
David Corn, Nina Kumar, good conversation this morning. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, still ahead, the Australia wildfires.